Now,
the radio
who do
stations.
you normally work with local promoters when you get
Well,
a
we
venue?
do have, we've done local promoters, we have some promoters that are, you know, a little bit more, you know, widespread, who can help
Uh-huh.
us out to a certain extent, or at
Yes.
least put us in connection with somebody
Yes.
that's more local, because we
Mhm.
do want to have that local, you know, somebody who knows the area,
Yes.
knows the, you know, the,
Demographics.
thank you,
Yes.
yeah, you know, you need to have that.
Yes.
You need to have that, because you can't go into an area, you know, and then find out after you've, you know, put all the money into the show that it's not a doo-wop area.
Yes.
So, you know.
Well, what is
yeah.
a doo-wop area, if you will?
Well, you know, it's
Well, actually,
know.
moreover, why don't you tell the listeners, what is doo-wop?
doo-wop.
Give us a little historical
You know,
perspective
I
on doo-wop.
mean-
Where did it come from? What were its roots? I mean, in our generation, you and I being about the same age,
Right.
that we know doo-wop very well.
Yeah.
That it was
Oh, yeah, doo-wop is
a
the
direct
music from the-
relationship to Elvis and to a lot of the music that we listened to, and also then the birth of rock and roll and
Right.
how it works into that.
Yeah, yeah, I you know, doo-wop, was an era,
Uh-huh.
you know, in
And
the 50s.
the era, would you define it as
And
the
even kind of
50s?
fell into the early 60s.
Sure, sure.
You know, you'll even hear some of that in the Beatles music,
Yes.
in their early Beatles music. But it's just a feel. It's
Mhm.
a feel. You know, I don't think doo-wop itself has a term. I think it's just a feel, like, you know, of the type of music.
Yeah, where
that
did the
was
word
being done.
doo-wop come from?
I
Doo-wop.
couldn't tell you. You know, I think it's something because of, you know.
Maybe how the music
the-
sounds?
well,
or?
yeah, or the background singers,
Yeah,
you know, you
yeah.
heard a lot of that doo-wop, doo-wop, you
Right,
know, in a
right,
lot
right,
of
that's
songs,
true,
so,
that's true.
you know, so who actually came up
Coined
with
the
that?
term, yeah.
I have no idea, but,
Uh-huh.
you know, our feeling for the music is, or where it, you know, it started from was probably on the street corners,
Uh-huh.
you know, of Philadelphia and Detroit and New York and, you know, Brooklyn. I've got, you know, how many groups came from Brooklyn and the
Right.
Bronx
Right.
that I know I work with
Yes.
all the time.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, just a cappella groups, and then, you know, the music worked into it.
Mhm, mhm.
And, you know, and it just grew like, you know, anything else.
Yeah.
You know, we have rap today, where did that start? You know, same thing.
From the streets.
In the streets,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I think that's what it is. Somebody just hears a sound and it catches on. And I think that's where it just caught on.
Right, so you mentioned about researching the areas you're going to do the shows and see if a place is a doo-wop area or
Right,
not.
right.
So
Well, you
what's
know,
a doo-wop area?
You want to, well, because, you know, of course.
I mean, you're going to
you
have
know,
people who
if you're gonna
lived
go
in
to the
era.
Midwest, you're probably gonna have more country music, you know, things like that. So, you know, you're looking for an
Yeah,
area.
isn't it funny, parts of the Midwest, you know, you figure like country music
Yeah.
is like, you know, Tennessee,
Yeah.
Kentucky, and
But
places
I'll-
like that, but then, you know,
I mean, we get emails
Ohio,
and calls all the
Michigan.
time, you know, when are you coming
Yes.
to, you know, when are you coming to Cleveland, when are you
Yes.
coming to Texas, when are you coming to California, you know, things like that. But, you know, mostly we look for areas who have a large broadcasting in that kind of music. You
Interesting,
know,
well, so like
because
an
if there's
oldie
no
station that.
right, exactly. If there's no broadcasting, then you're pretty much being told there's no call for it.
Right, but you know, when we were growing up, again, the oldie stations were the ones that played 50s
Right.
type of music.
Right.
And then, you know, now the oldie stations seem like they're playing like classic rock, you know,
Yes.
it's sort of
Yeah.
like the genre
Again,
of,
because-
what is an oldie, you know?
Right, well, yeah.
It's all
yeah.
relative to who
Right,
you are.
Right, exactly,
Yes.
and what you're looking for.
Right.
But, you know, and again, that's the whole thing too about doing these shows, to keep the music alive.
Yeah.
You know, because people are getting older
Sure.
who are from that generation.
I mean, if you look at
and-
the iPods of the kids, I mean,
Yeah.
my kids, you know, I actually, the way I get my music is they just load up an iPod for me, and that's sort of, I mean, I used to suggest groups for my son to download
Right.
when he was growing up. And I would always find it interesting that the exact songs that I liked were the ones that he ended up liking. I wouldn't give him specific songs, I would just say, download this,
Right.
download that, download that.
Right.
And the collection of music would be almost what I would have chosen, which is interesting. But I don't recall any specific doo-wop kind of music that he would kind of work his way down into. He would work his way from like down up to like
Okay.
classic rock and then up.
Right,
So,
yeah.
So a
Yeah,
doo-wop
this
area.
sound is very specific.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's you know, but again, you know, keeping it alive, moving it on to the next generation, so it's not lost.
Like I would think like Vegas would be maybe a good venue for this.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, and we're looking to venture out in you know, on the
Have
on
you
the West
played in
Coast.
Vegas?
Have not yet.
Uh-huh.
Again, we're pretty much sticking to the East Coast.
Right.
You know, we're a fairly new company,
Uh-huh.
so you know, we're still getting our feet wet.
Right.
Also.
So how long have you been doing this?
About
for?
a year. Yeah.
About a
So
year,
you know,
okay.
March were our first shows.
Uh-huh.
So.
Oh, so this is relatively new.
Very, very.
So
new.
what was going on before this?
Real jobs.
Okay.
You know.
So was this
you
sort
know,
of like a dream to
It
start
was. It
doing
was my
this?
husband's dream.
So
Yeah.
what did he do before?
Well,
he,
you know, he's
I mean, I
always-
guess all along he's been playing.
He's always
music.
been a musician.
Yes.
He's played with a lot of, you know, local bands here.
Uh-huh.
He started doing doo-wop shows about 25 years ago.
Yes.
He was introduced to Kathy Jean from Kathy Jean and the Roommates, and then.
I love the names Kathy Jean and the Roommates.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, once he started playing with her, she wouldn't go out without him, you know, and so, you know, that was kind of nice, and he did that for a lot of years.
Uh-huh.
And
What was his day job?
he was sales for a local, you know, construction company.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So, but music has always been his dream. He plays the
Yes.
saxophone, he plays the piano, and
Sings?
he does. He's not, you know, that's not
Background.
his. No, he'll sing on his, you know, on his own,
Uh-huh.
and you know, and he has done that. So, but that's not his, you know, thing. His saxophone is really
Right.
the main part of his repertoire.